Welcome to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles. I'm Breanna Stewart, and today I'm joined by NBA and WNBA analyst. I should have said WNBA and NBA analyst at NBC Sports, co-founder of the Daily W and host of Let Her Shoot and Heat Check, Trysta Krick. Welcome to the show.
Do you follow anything that we do on the Daily W, Stewie? We post a lot of stuff.
Honestly, now that I know it's you, I feel like I've seen it a lot. So this makes more sense.
Yeah, WNBA first. Please say the W.
I know.
I've been
Peter?
Yeah, I know, Peter. Come on, Peter. I've been a basketball fan since I was like 4, and I grew up in Northern California, and then we moved to Portland when I was 6. And the Fire game, to rub it in, but the Fire game environment is so much better than a Blazer game environment. Mm-hmm. It's like by a magnitude of like 5 or 10.
I honestly think
kind of like you guys. The vibe inside of Barclays is not great for the Nets.
No, that's what I was going to say is I think that there's like a level of engagement that's heightened in W games compared to NBA games. Obviously, like when you have playoffs and you have finals and stuff like that, and we'll talk about NBA finals in a second, like it's going to be high stakes all the time. But if it's a regular season game, like these fans that come to the W games are invested in every single thing.
Yeah, that crowd pop everywhere you go. I've never been to a Valkyries game at Valhalla, but I really want to go. Let me ask you this. Sorry to take over, but do you feel like Golden State is a lot louder than Moda at the Fire Pit?
Honestly, I don't know. I think that Moda, they definitely impressed me because when we started warming up and like when we were about to start, it wasn't full yet. And I was like, all right, come on. Like, I want this to be full every single night, especially for an expansion team. But they filled in and it got loud. Like, the pop of the game winner against us, yeah, that really sucked. But I think compared to Valhalla, it's close. It's hard. I'll let you know when I go back to Valhalla this year, basically.
Yeah, let me know. Shoot me a text.
Yeah, basically. All right, let's talk about the NBA Finals real quick before we talk all WNBA, which is completely fine with me. The finals are set. It's going to be Spurs versus the Knicks. Overall, give me your like semi-analyst perspective, more so fan perspective of what you think this final series is going to be like.
Listen, if the Knicks don't get it now, I don't know that they're ever going to get it. I think Wemby's just coming to the peak of his powers, right? You look at what he's able to do, and like thinking about somebody that tall, that long, being able to eat up that much paint as fast as he can and really providing really a lot of protection for the guards like Steph Castle, like Dylan Harper, like even De'Aaron Fox, to be ultra aggressive on the perimeter. I feel like Wemby's only going to get better. So I like what the Knicks are doing. I think OG Anunoby grades out as the best, or at least statistically the most productive defender against Victor Wembanyama. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. I love to see just like game by game adjustments. How is Mike Brown going to run the offense? We've seen the Knicks run Karl Anthony Towns as a hub, and then we've seen the traditional Jalen Brunson running the offense where he's kind of the primary initiator. So I'm just like really excited to see close games. I was really disappointed in OKC and San Antonio having a 7-game series, and we only got one very, very exciting game.
I know, it was pretty intense. I will say, like last night watching the Game 7, Spurs just wanted it more. They look like they have this team that is really young. They've kind of built it back from the ground up. They've gone through the trenches together, and really excited for each person, like individually. Like I know I keep thinking about Harper like holding Castle to make sure that he doesn't go after Caruso when he got called for that open court foul and things like that. And I don't know. It's going to be tough. I'm really interested to see how the Knicks are going to match up with the Spurs. Also, like Mitchell Robinson, he's out, right? Because he broke his pinky or whatever. That's another
They said he's going to play.
Ooh,
They said he's going to try to
play.
play starting game 1. That's what he
Is it
said.
his left pinky or his right pinky?
Well, I mean, you see him shooting. I don't know that it matters that much.
Maybe it's going to be better.
Just get the... Listen, maybe he'll go lefty. I think it's his shooting hand, though.
It can only get better. It literally can only get better. So it might work.
Oh, Mitch. No, it's going to be really interesting to see, especially, I don't know, how do you feel about Wemby and him being somewhat of like a Dawn or like this villain where he's sending out Mason Plumlee and, the rest of the crew to like be, hey, like go hit him hard.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a series. Like, listen, if you're out of the game, obviously you don't want to do anything malicious, but you want to make sure that the other team kind of feels you. So I think that shows everybody else the highs and the lows of the series, but like not only the physical aspect, but the mental side of things of like, they know that when these players are going to come in, they're going to get like ran through on screens, or they're going to get that extra bump or that extra nudge. And it's playoff basketball. Like, I think that's what's most interesting to me is to see the level of physicality that's being allowed for guards, like fighting through screens or, disrupting cutters and stuff like that. And I think it's good. It's good to be able to play through a lot of it.
Is that your style? Are you I'm going to go sit on the bench and tell somebody to go knock him down kind of a thing?
No, I don't think I'm that type of player. Maybe if I was mad, but it's kind of like if someone has like a nasty or a really hard foul, like a flagrant foul, that you're going to like set a good screen on them the next time to like let them know. I feel like I remember that when I was in Seattle. If somebody like laid Sue out, then it's like, all right, next play, you're going to make them remember not to do that again to Sue.
Got to protect Sue at all costs.
Got to protect Sue. Okay, real quick. I want to know, there's so many things we could talk about this NBA Finals. Predictions, and who's going to be like the dark horse, and is it going to go to Game 7, or how many games do we think?
I think it's Spurs in 6, and I think we get a really good Devin Vassell game. Devin Vassell has changed everything about himself. He's always been a bucket, but defensively, he's become really like a lockdown on-ball defender. He's changed a lot about the way that he takes care of his body. And so I think you're going to get one of those role players. I think it'll be him, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a Keldon Johnson. You see those. And I think we're going to get a Josh Hart game. I call him the New York Alex Caruso. I think we'll get one of those 5-3 performances where the Spurs leave him open. And he's not going to do it all the time, but I think he'll have a huge game as well. He did that, last year in the playoffs also. So, yeah, he's one of those guys that just shows up when a team disrespects him and is somewhat like, just let him shoot, and we'll see how the chips fall.
Mm-hmm. And Finals MVP, you got to have Wemby, right?
Got to have Wemby. You can't give it to anybody else. What do you think?
I think it's going to be Knicks in 7. I got to go with the Knicks. I got to go with the home team. Like, look at my sweatshirt right now. It says New York or nowhere. But listen, the Knicks are not going to lose a series on their home court in the finals. Like, that's not happening. So I gotta say Knicks in 7. My like X factor is gonna be Mikal Bridges, because he basically brought them back in that game. Obviously, Landry too in Game 1 when they both started like cashing out in those threes. That was really, really crucial to win that first game, because it really deflated the Cavs for the entire rest of the series. And MVP, Brunson.
I was going to ask you about that game. Do you feel like, because it's easy for people who are not pro athletes to psychoanalyze and say, that loss just broke Cleveland, like emotionally, spiritually. Do you think that's right? Or do you think that's just us on the outside oversimplifying it?
I think it broke them. I think that, like, you were up like 20. You were up like a lot. Like, and also for those that don't know, like as a player, you do not want to be in that position. You don't feel comfortable up 20 because once a team gets hot and they hit like three threes in a row, it's a 12-point game, and it's like you're just like tight. You're just like, all right, I don't want to lose it. I don't want to let go. Like I'm afraid to kind of mess up, and you could see the Cavs were struggling to have that flow and that just like regular function that they were having for basically the first 3 quarters of that game. But once they lost that one, they weren't winning the next one at MSG, and it was basically like game 3. If they didn't win game 3, it was over.
Raps. Raps. Yeah, it was tough. I remember watching I forget who you guys were playing when you were in Seattle. And there was like a last second shot to send it to overtime.
Was it playoffs? It felt like Vegas.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Yeah, Vegas. And it felt like something, not the same, but like that same man. Shit. And then you go to overtime and it's like, how do we get the momentum back? How do we still pull ourselves out emotionally from that?
It's like the opposite of the crowd pop.
Yeah, it's like a crowd deflate. Just
and then
terrible.
You're like, fuck, what am I supposed to do now? Yeah, I don't, that is like one of my worst memories. Like if I could forget that game altogether, I would. Sue hit a corner 3 to like basically put us up, and then Jackie had a slip to the basket, got a layup to send it to overtime, and then that was it. It was done. It was toast.
Damn, Jackie.
I know, Jackie.
She's always so clutch. I mean, Sue's obviously so clutch, but man, yeah, is that a core memory? Like, is that like the worst losing memory for you?
It was one of the worst losing memories because Sue was done. Like, she retired. She was done after that. So that was like her literally last game. And like, I remember like trying to do it for her, trying to win for her, trying to get to the finals for her. And coming up short really sucked. Also, losing to Vegas in the finals my first year in New York, like also core memory. I think anytime you lose, it's a core memory in the loss department.
Do you think that call that sent you to the free throw line against Minnesota, do you think that was like a legit call, or do you think it was not a legit call?
Of course. Girl, this is my podcast. You're going to ask me if I didn't think it was a legit call? Yes, I do think it was a legit call. Block. Do you think it was a legit call?
It just great. Well, I mean,
the
way that I saw it, no.
Well, there was definitely contact. But listen, let me tell you, whether it was called or not, which it was, those free throws, like we talk about Barclays being loud, quietest I've ever felt Barclays. Like, you saw the pictures.
I was in the building for that.
See?
Yeah. I was right. I was that same side of the court as you were shooting free throws. So I had a good eye on the call. And then obviously Kathy had the New York dress on. That wasn't a good look either.
You sound like a Minnesota Lynx fan.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just calling it straight. I'm just calling balls and strikes.
Listen. Nobody knows why Kathy was wearing that. She lives in New York. I don't know. The office is in New York. I have no idea why she decided that was the day to wear that. But nah, that was insane. The whole thing was insane.
Yeah. It was.
Right.
It was an awesome series to watch, though.
It was an awesome series, but I will tell you this. It was an exhausting series, and there wasn't enough time in between games because the quality of basketball went down game after game because it was such a quick turnaround. And that's something that we fought for in the CBA, is making sure that we have appropriate amount of times in between playoff games. Because sometimes with the season, you can't always have it. But in the playoffs, for sure, it's like when you travel, you should have 2 days between. And when you're home, when you stay in one place, you have 1 day. Because moments like that, we just played game 4 in Minnesota. We had to travel, and then the next day we played, and it was just nuts. Like, everybody was tired. All right, so we're already in the swing of it for the WNBA talk, but
Yeah, we are.
Who's your biggest surprise of the year so far? Which team? Portland? Or not a surprise?
It's got to be Portland, right? Their win total was 11.5, and they already have 6 wins, and it's not even June yet.
What does that
That's
mean?
crazy.
Win total?
Like they were the people who make the odds, right? They say that they believe that Portland will either win 11 games or they'll win 12 games. So they set it right in the middle, right?
Okay.
And so a good season is probably that they thought. They put them right there with the Connecticut Sun. So they're both sitting there at like 11, 12 wins on the year. And now they already have half of those expected wins, like a few weeks into the season, is crazy. I didn't think they were going to be any good myself.
So do you think that they're going to keep it up?
I think they are, just because of the way that Alex Sarama coaches. And I want to get your thoughts on this exact thing, because I feel like it's one thing to say it, and then it's another to hear it from somebody who's done it for as long at as peak of a level as you have. Is I think the key piece for this team to continue to perform is intensity. He was talking about that their sprint speed is the highest in the league. You know, their deceleration speed is the highest. And so those intensity metrics are so high. I think they're number 1 in forced turnovers per game, number 1 in steals per 100 possessions per game. And my biggest question mark is like, are they going to burn the fuck out?
I don't know. I'm not the statistician behind that, but I don't think so, because I think the way, honestly, he rotates them pretty well. I don't think, like, most of them aren't playing over 30 minutes a game. And they're, like, bought in. It's almost like all these players that they have there have been given a second chance, like a second opportunity at a WNBA career, like a fresh start a little bit. And they're really kind of making the most out of that.
Yeah, I thought the way that Megan Gustafson has sort of emerged, I saw her play in the building against Indiana. Not only like was she able to just really catch in all angles, short roll, long roll. Mm-hmm. She took the task of D'ing up Aaliyah Boston, which is not an easy task, especially when, you know, Aaliyah's, you know, using her physicality to her advantage, and she gets the start. I think that was her first start of the year, and she's 8 for 8 from the field. Wow. So that efficiency is there. She started to tear up during the post-game presser, saying that nobody has ever believed in her before. You look at Emily Angsler, who I think is leading the league right now in blocks and is top 3 in steals at 6'1". Just insane what she's been able to do. Her and Sophie Cunningham going back and forth. She's got that, you know, she's got that New York state of mind. You know what it is. Like New York, New Jersey, tough. No one can, you know, they're not going to back down for anybody. So, yeah, I feel like there are Carla as well. I feel like Carla being left off of being protected from 2 teams in expansion drafts is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Gets to 12 assists. I think that was her career high against the Fever. Yeah, there's a bunch of players that that I feel like they thought they were slept on, and they're being utilized to the maximum.
All right, so we're just going to continue to pay attention to Portland, but we're not going to talk about them anymore because I play on the Liberty, and we're going to talk about some other team. Okay, Trista?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I think we should focus on y'all. What's going on with y'all?
Yeah. Honestly, listen, I haven't done a podcast since we lost three games in a row. That was rough.
I'm willing to say that it's just folks getting back into the swing. Sabrina getting back into the swing. Satu. You've got still folks coming over from the international side. You got a brand new coach. I really like CD. I'm not willing to throw any dirt on the New York Liberty. I did that on the Las Vegas Aces last year, and I looked really silly. The top tier teams in the league, I'm going to just hold all my judgment for, but it is looking a little sus.
Yeah. Listen, I definitely agree.
What do you think? What do you guys need to do?
Well, I think I'm not here to make excuses. There's no way we should have lost 3 games in a row. That's something where it's like, you lose one, you want to come back and win. Like, you don't want to lose 2 in a row, and you don't want to lose 3 in a row, especially at home. Like, that's unheard of at Barclays. So I definitely felt for our fans because they didn't deserve that, but also knowing that this is going to take a little bit of time and patience, knowing that we are still getting our lineups back. We're still gonna hopefully get Sab back soon and really fully integrate everybody. But this learning curve needs to be learned a little bit faster. That's what I was feeling. And I think over the past 2 games against Phoenix, we definitely picked up our defensive intensity and realizing that if we don't kind of get up and get into people's shit defensively, we're not going to flow and score the ball as easily as we want on offense. Because if you're going to just play half-court basketball, it's really tough when they load up, they send 2, and you're just trying to find the next open shot within probably less than 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah. You've had some bright spots, though. I think I call her Nasty A. She's been just an absolute delight to watch. Obviously, Marine it feels like Marine's going to another level. Is it just me, or does it feel like she's sort of taking on maybe more of a scoring load?
Marine is definitely kind of embracing her role and her opportunity and just being confident. I think that we all know that she's incredibly dynamic scorer, but going out and doing it, and the biggest part about it is even when she has tough nights, right? She has an off night, she bounces back. It doesn't turn to 3, 4 tough games. She course corrects really, really quickly. And Pauline is, I knew who she was. I knew she was a bigger point guard, but was really excited to kind of get her here and see her. Not only offensive IQ, but just the way that she's ruthless and relentless defensively. She's a sponge. She's learning every single day. And Nasty Air, I'm gonna take that from you and bring it to the team and see how she likes it.
Please do. I can't wait to hear back how she's feeling about it. I also was a part of coining Carla Late as Baby Bird, so maybe I'm just gonna give nicknames out to all the French players.
Literally, I saw the Baby Bird too. I saw that whole thing after we lost. Not a fan once again. We also said we weren't going to talk about Portland anymore.
I'm sorry.
She just keeps bringing it back up. It just keeps coming back.
Yeah, she got it.
It's just literally in the back of her mind. She can only think about Portland right now.
Back. I forgot. I'm sorry. We can just keep going. I just was remembering this step back. I think it was on you, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm like, Peter, we might have to cut this pod short. Trista. All right. I actually do have one more question. So there's a lot of top players, top rookies playing right now. Pauline on my team, obviously I'm biased. AZ is hopefully going to get that starting nod for the rest of her career. And Olivia Myles with Minnesota. Right now, the way too early race for Rookie of the Year. Who do you got?
I think I have to go Olivia Myles.
She's nasty.
I know it sounds like I'm a Minnesota Lynx fan again, but I'm not. I think she just looks like a vet, staying one more year in college, going to TCU. I feel like that offense was ready-made for her. Her court vision is unreal, and her ability to get downhill and score the basketball. She's good off the dribble, just very in control. I think more and more, I think she'll be able to become a better defender as well in Cheryl's scheme. I think it's just to lose as many players as they have, and for her to come in without Nafisa and still be a defensive juggernaut, and her be I think middle of the road to negative defender, and she's figured it out really fast. And when it comes to awards and us dumb, I don't vote, but like I think we're all somewhat like fans, journalists. You're watching the game not from the level of what you can see, but those highlight moments are super important. You need something to get people excited, and she has that. Like I think AZ, if AZ continues at this clip in the way that she's been playing the last couple of games, she's absolutely right there. I just don't know how many of those highlight moments that she's going to have. Same thing with Kiki Rice. They're the type of players that help you win championships. And I'm not saying that Olivia Myles is not that, but Olivia Myles has a shitload of flash as well.
I agree. I like I like them all, but I think Myles, she plays with she's very poised, she's very composed, like her pace is like top notch. She knows when to go slow, but then she knows when to like really accelerate and try to get downhill, and she does this like one arm layup type thing. So I think that she's really settling in Minnesota, and the confidence behind it, like you see it growing every single game, and just knowing that she's getting more and more comfortable with her teammates around her. And Minnesota, they're continuing to kind of beat everybody's expectations. I think the people kind of wrote them off early, and they came together, and it seems like, they're using it as fuel. And I think right now they're like one of the top teams in the league, I think, right now.
Yeah, you're right. And I wanted to ask you about players that, ended up leaving and going to new teams, found new homes. Like, when you look at a player like Alana Smith, and we've seen like just her struggle, and I don't really know why. I can't tell whether that's just the injury or the mask. Yeah. Some people that I ask around the league say that some of it has to do with just like, you're not playing for Cheryl anymore, and Cheryl really puts you in the best position, and now Alana has to, defend the best player on the other side, where she was kind of a help defender in Minnesota. Like, what do you see when you look at someone leaving Cheryl Reeve's system? Is it surprising to you, like this sort of decline in production, or you think she'll figure it out, or what?
I really like Lan. She's my Misty, my Unrivaled teammate, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go because, we've always been competing against each other, but we had a good time together. I will say, I think that Lan is just waiting to get more and more comfortable within the system, having years of Minnesota under her belt, and then going to a new place. It takes time, and it takes time for a player like her to know exactly where she's going to get her spots and building that chemistry with her teammates. And I think also the mask seems tough. Like, we played against her, and it's like you can't see here, right? Like, you only see straight ahead. Mm-hmm. So I think, let's do a little check-in. Let's do a little check-in halfway through the season on all the players that kind of went to new homes. I think that while money talks, there's also some stuff that you have to, you got to figure out, because you're now the it player, the top player, the highest paid player in a lot of these places. And to get that money, people want to see you produce.
1,000% agree. I forgot that you were a part of another controversial title. Forgot about that. I was also in the building on the same side of your free throws for that one as well.
That was foul. That was foul for real. She went like this to me.
That was a foul. So you're saying the other one was more sus?
No, they were both fouls. I'm not a ref. I'm not here to do the ref's job. They just call the fouls and I shoot the free throws. I will say,
Peter supercut this.
Peter, I'm Lindsay. Lindsay's in trouble after this. I will say, one of the struggles at Unrivaled is, okay, you don't want the game to end on a free throw, but what do? Because then teams will just foul.
Maybe take points away from the other team.
Yeah, we talked about that of if you foul 2 times in a row, it's a free throw. You know what I mean? In the same possession. But then they also talked about making the the target score one more, giving the team a point and also making the target score one more. Because it's like,
yeah, that's a smart idea.
People would try to like outsmart the game a little bit here.
Yeah, you guys are savants, man. You guys are going to do whatever you can to win and game the system. That was a crazy sequence, though. That whole last couple of minutes was absolutely absurd.
I
in a great way.
Mm-hmm. Now, Unrivaled this year, like the style and the way people were playing, they definitely got accustomed to it from year 1 to year 2. Like people understood their spots, understood how to play the game. Like we weren't running all over the place like with chickens with our heads cut off type shit. And really using all 6 players on each team.
You guys coming out west this next year at all?
I don't know. Can't tell you.
We'll have to see. You'll break it. I'll get it on the internet like everybody else. Look at me trying to break news on your pod.
All right. Time for a quick break. Next up, we get to know Trista a bit more. Please rate, review, subscribe to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome back to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles. Trista, you're from this city that starts with a P, and I'm not saying it anymore because I don't want to talk about it. And this city loves basketball. What is your background in basketball?
So my mom got me in to the Blazers when I was like 4 or 5, and that was in the early 90s. And so I was a huge Clyde Drexler fan. That was like my favorite player. And we moved back to Portland when I was like 6 or 7. And that's when I really ended up playing a lot of, like, I guess you could call it more organized than it was in the country of Northern California, where it was just like dirt roads and a ball and no hoop. So I started playing then. I was like real small, probably like, I don't think I got over 4'10" until I was a freshman in high school. Had large aspirations of playing in the W. Never got taller than 5'5". That was just a very disappointing development genetically. But yeah, I think like watching the W, watching, the NBA, or we like to playfully call it the MNBA. Just really like, plus the feeling of community and like having a team and, doing all the things that you do when you're on a basketball team. I grew up in like this area of Portland where I was, one of the only white kids. And so I went to a high school that we would put grills on before we go out to the school in the suburbs to try to scare the suburban kids. I was twisted up all the way through high school. And so, yeah, I mean, basketball's been in my blood and, in my heart and soul from the time my mom got me interested in it. And then when I ended up going into finance right out of college for like 5 years and hated every second of, putting on the button-ups and the heels and the stretchy, A-line skirts. None of that. Yeah, we're not. Listen, I'm trying to come in slides or, some Air Force Ones or some Jordan 1s. And I obviously were not feeling that. So I ended up transitioning into media after about 5 years of finance and then, trying to find my way. And then, as you can tell, I'm trying to make people laugh. And so that became the niche of how I make content and how, I differentiate myself. No one, including Stewie, is safe.
Period. I'm not safe on my own show, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like being 5'5" is definitely not going to get you very far as a professional basketball player. But at least like for the love of the game, you never lost it too much. You just had to go crunch some numbers for a second and then you came back. That's what I was going to ask you. Is like,
that's right.
What made you want to come back? But it seemed like you just never lost it. You never lost that love. You were just always missing it.
Yeah, and all the people who I would meet, that people who didn't even know me, they're like, this is not the right field for you. You are losing your shit watching this sporting event, that sporting event. Like, you should be more in that space. And so it was, from the mouth of strangers and friends that sort of like, you know what, maybe I can make a living doing this. And I think when you come from, not a lot of money, you're trying to find the best way to get security financially as fast as you can, or at least like not be in the hole, right? And so finance just seems like the easiest way to go, right? So yeah, I never lost it, but I just had to try to find my way into a path that I could actually like make a living doing.
What was like something that you learned the hard way about being in the business, like being in this type of business?
Mm. That's a good question. You can't be anyone but yourself. You really have to lean into what, especially if you're going to be a quote unquote content creator or a talent, someone who speaks for a living. You have to do it in the way that's natural for you. Me and you kind of have like similar tonality in how we speak, right? But you hoop and you're a multiple MVP. I was out in the middle of like corporate America and then trying to make my way into media. And so I tried to change the way that I sounded to sort of like, I guess, corporate America code switch, you know? And that shit did not get me anywhere. Everything was awkward. Everything was uncomfortable. I was trying to be, Michelle Tafoya or, Erin Andrews or whoever. And like, it was leaning into my hip hop background. I was a little rapper growing up. And
then you were in pencil skirt
and into basketball and those things. And then I was in a pencil skirt. Yeah. From cornrows to like baby doll bangs. Which like it's a commitment for baby doll bangs. But yeah,
we'll talk about that next show.
I think leaning into, yeah. But yeah, I think learning that was a huge lesson because that I was just never gonna go anywhere. I was never gonna be able to have any fun. Probably not gonna be able to differentiate myself, and it was stiff and awkward. I think also like knowing your shit and preparing. I don't think I had to learn that the hard way, but it's a lot easier to be comfortable in yourself when like I don't need to cram. I don't need to have like a shitload of notes to have, a conversation about the W with you. It's all inside. It's all based on what's in my head and what's in my heart, and everything comes out so much better for a fan when they know that it's like authentically real.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's one take on women's sport that you'll never walk back?
I think you got held to like, you say what now?
No, it's my turn to ask questions. So you just wait.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
What's one take about women's sports that you'll never walk back?
Oh, what's one take about women's sports that I'll never walk back? That Arike and Paige will never work together at a high level.
Dang. That's crazy. No comment.
You don't have to comment. That's just that was the hot take that I've had for 12 months, really. And that's nothing. I love Arike's game. I love Paige's game. They both want the ball in their hands.
Because they're both shooting guards? Is that what you're saying, essentially? Like, because they're both...
Yeah, I think, like, Arike's never been, like, the most efficient player from deep. And I would certainly love to see her more in the paint and cutting a lot more off-ball movement. It's kind of like James Harden for me, where James Harden could be an awesome player playing off-ball. He just never will. That's just not his game. And there's another team I think that Arike can do all the things that James Harden does and have a team on her back. But that's the hottest take that I've had that has gotten people mad. And then, you add AZ to the mix and that just changes how everything is going to work rotation wise.
Yeah. I see why people don't like that take. Well, we're just going to still find out. We're going to find out how far that goes.
Is it a crazy take? You hate the take?
No, I don't think it's crazy, but I also I don't think like I'm not like 10 toes down with you about it either. I think that Paige and Arike are both like really good players, and if you're a great player, you can play with other great players. Like you can make it work. So I think that they can definitely make it work.
Just got to take time, and we'll see we'll see how Jose makes it work, because it's a lot of times it's that as well, like how how everything meshes together.
Okay, what's a take that you have that players might not like? Like, what's something that I'm not going to like that you think?
Besides that one?
Well, that's like about players in general.
What's a take that I have that players don't like? I think there's mostly the takes that I have that players won't like are individual takes, not league-wide takes. I'm like truth to power. I want y'all to get as much bread as you can possibly get. Like, I want you guys to have housing. I think truthfully you're underpaid. Maybe the take that players won't like is that I think you should have held out for more. I think you guys could have gotten more. I think the percentage deal of revenue split that the players got is just not good enough. And I'm sure the players do like that, but when everybody was celebrating it, I wanted more for y'all.
I mean, listen, we got 20% of gross, which is insane. So while I think that potentially we could have gotten more, I think that this is an incredible starting point for us for actually getting more when we negotiate the next CBA, because those negotiations were not easy, and I'm happy that we got it done.
No. Yeah, me too. And I think we're all happy that basketball is happening too, right? Like, there's steps to this. But that's probably because I'm with y'all. Like, my takes are mostly takes that team owners and GMs and coaches won't like more than the players won't like.
I like that. All right. Time for one more break. Next up, we give Trista a chance to turn the tables and ask me some questions, even though she already asked me questions, so I'm not sure how many more questions she's going to ask me. Welcome back to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles, and time to get a little personal. Trista, well, this isn't really personal. It's still about your job. What's something about your job that drives you crazy?
Ooh, what drives me crazy? When PR people are on some bullshit and it's like, I'm coming to every game and yet you still keep giving me the game-by-game credential. It's like, fam, what are we doing here? I don't like that. That drives me nuts.
That must be about the fire.
How cold it is in the arenas drives me crazy.
That must be about the fire.
No, I go to a bunch of different games, Let them know. What else drives me crazy? What about my job drives me crazy? I think probably the thing that is really hard is being good at a bunch of different sports and prepared all the time. Like, what drove me crazy was sitting there for Fire Fever, and it's at the exact same time as the Western Conference Finals Game 7, and I had to choose. Like, that shit drives me crazy. Like, don't do that. That's horrible. Don't pit us against one another.
Talk to the networks. That's crazy. Crazy.
Made no sense. And I think they do that way too much. They did that actually during the WNBA Finals as well. Like, I think there was other games going on in another sport, and I forget what was going on. And it was like, why aren't you just putting the WNBA on its own slot, on its own day like it deserves? Right. Why is it competing with other things?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Okay, aside from your job, I heard you are very into gardening.
I'm into gardening, into home improvement.
Okay.
So today, actually, I'm in a little bit of trouble because I moved back to Portland to help with some stuff with my mom. And so her and I are creating a garden together. And there was a specific list of things that I was supposed to get at the nursery. And I was actually planning my whole day around what time this recording was. And so I was like, okay, we're going to go to the nursery. And then I got more things than we had agreed to getting. And she doesn't have the soil or the pots, and I end up bringing home a Thai basil. I end up bringing home a Thai chili. Am I cooking Thai food? No, I'm not. But do I want to test it out? Absolutely. Who doesn't want to make a little sweet chili basil pad Thai on the side? I added like a red pepper that I thought would be nice. I added 2 extra tomato plants, an extra green bean that I wasn't supposed to get. And so now I come back home and she's like, were you listening at all to the list that we made? Because I don't have any place to put this.
So now what happens? Like, where does the Thai chili go?
We're in the middle of the debate right now. I mean, as soon as I jump off this podcast, that's what, maybe I'm going to have to go and get some more pots, maybe some more soil. Who knows? But the Thai basil stays.
Well, you know what? After this show, no matter what, I'm on your mom's side, regardless. Like, regardless. I feel like her and I will be friends.
I'll let her know. Hey, facts. She's more savage than me, though.
Maybe. Okay. You also have a history with music. How has music impacted your life? And also, are you gonna like spit some bars right now?
No,
I heard that's what you do.
Any bars for
Come
you.
on, give me like a little rhyme.
I have a little rhyme.
Yeah, come on, something.
Let's see.
Spice it up in here. Thai chili.
Okay, all right. I've already done this one before, but we're just gonna do it because it's the only thing off the top of my head. Last chance on the mic to prove that I got heat. My style's discreet, con you like Crete. Mets will blow your mind that you ain't heard before. Like the Yankees lineup when the salary's low. Call me 4-wheel drive cause I'm all terrain. I got many different ways to rap about the same thing. It's not a hoax, my approach is different from the few white folks that broke through the business. Move breaker, rule breaker, catches in the newspaper, causing attention like a new Laker. That's it.
I like that.
Thank you. I was trying to work in some trolling of the Liberty or you. It was just, I knew it was going to crash and burn and you were going to like probably clip it and it would have been horrible. So we stayed away from it.
Yeah. Whatever I can use as ammo, I'm definitely using for sure.
No doubt.
All right, last question. Do you have a question for me?
Yes. It's not basketball related.
Shocker.
What is the most surprising part of motherhood and playing at the level that you play as a professional athlete where you're traveling?
Yeah. The most surprising part is that I have mom guilt, you know? I think that I try to do whatever I can to always be with my kids, but sometimes when I'm gone or we're like on a long road trip or a West Coast swing, it's like you miss moments. Like I'm going to miss Ruby's graduation from her school when she's going to go to kindergarten next year. So like just that kind of thing you can't get back, but also like really, I think I shout out Marta a lot on this pod, but I wouldn't be able to do it without her. Just knowing that she's like really holding down the fort while I'm gone. And short story, but today I had to bring Teo to practice because our nanny isn't working today. And Ruby got invited to a birthday party that said that no siblings were allowed, which is weird. So me and Teo were just like holding it down in practice, and he was helping me in the weight room and on the court and all the things. So the momming never stops. Like I don't like to bring my kids to practice because it's hard for me to like focus completely on my job. But when you got to do it, you got to do it. And today was one of those days where we had to do it.
That's dope. I always think about that as I've gotten older. I think about that balance and how impressive it is for women who are badass, doing everything in their job at a super high level and then managing that with what is a full-time job as well. Like I was listening to the pod with you and Marta on it, and I was just like, man, it's incredible. I don't know how you balance it all.
Yeah, me neither. Honestly, me neither. It's just like you just do it. You just don't think about it. You just do.
Did you think you would have guilt before you had kids? You had no idea?
I think that yes, but you didn't really think about it that much. You know what I mean? Like until Ruby was born, and then like she went to the ER because she had a fever, and I couldn't be there because I had to be home and like sleep because I had a game the next morning. Like things like that. You're like, you want to make sure your kid is okay. Like, you want to be like really kind of focused and locked in on that. So it's harder now because Ruby, she understands that I'm leaving, and she's like, well, why are you going, and why can't I come with you? And I want to be there, and like, when are you coming back? And trying to explain that to a 4 and a 2-year-old is never usually easy, but they like that mommy plays basketball. So that's what I kind of like think about in the back of the day is they're supporting me just as much as everyone else is to keep doing this.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story.
Period. All right, Trista, thank you so much for checking us out. Thank you for coming on the show. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Game Recognized Game. We'll see you next time. And I'm going to get you a Stu York hat. I don't know if we come back to Portland. We definitely don't. But I want you to wear it in the Moda Center, please. Thanks.